Okay, so we're looking at the 10 string patterns, all P4 tuning, and they're the same. These are exactly the same. And this is the only thing this is 10 string triad pattern stacks. This is the only thing I'm really looking for in this diagram, except to show you that I put these things together. I warped them all out and made fretboards for them, and then I redid the fretboard neatly. So we have the same notes here. You see the same shape. I noticed that the root, the fourth, and the fifth triads have the same shape. So if I use this shape on piano for root, it's the same shape for the fourth and for the fifth. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Here's the shape of the arpeggio. So the fourth, we go 4, 6 root, 4, 6 root, 4, 6 root, 4, 6 root. Just starts here and goes 4, 6 root. Okay, and the fifth, the same thing, starting on the fifth. 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 2. Okay, and that would be like doing it on the guitar. Only it gets a little complicated after 4 strings. Okay, and we've got cage bound, because if you look at just a certain area of the fretboard and you do the arpeggios and don't go traveling off like this, it would be for root, it'd be that kind of thing. If you contain it to a cage, to about 4 frets, you've got, then you have, see, I brought that up. That gives you a hint of what actually gives you the chord shapes that you can deal with, that you can play, Now where's our third? Our third wasn't there, but there's your A shape, second inversion, A shape C. If we had just gone, it still would have been an A shape because of the tuning warp. Okay, but we're going to contain it to a cage shape, so we can see it fits into the G cage. It's a G-shaped C. So we're not playing just all arpeggios that travel across the fretboard. And by the way, if you do a half diminished arpeggio, it really travels across like 3 cages. So that kind of thing might look like this. Okay, here's a half diminished fretboard down here. So as you know, the half diminished is, if this is root, half diminished is 7, 2, 4. Okay, 7, 2, 4, and it just repeats. So we start that. If we could get this over here, let's bring this up. Okay, let's bring it up to here where we can talk about it. If we get starting from, let's say, 7 here, we go 7, 2, 4, and then it's an augmented fourth. So it doesn't go straight up. This is a regular fourth, but from 4 to 7 is an augmented fourth. So we go 4 to 7 to 2 to 4. So we started here on 7, and we end up over here on 4th, on the 4th. All right, and so really what we're looking at here is we've got a G box here. We've got a G box here. We've got an E box here. Okay, we've got a box right here, a box, a tri-pentatonic A box. We really covered 3 cages right there, A, G, and E. You know, cage is C-A-G-E-D. So A, G, and E, age. I'm not a bad age. The ripe old age of 56 plus 10. So those are the 3 cages that this arpeggio would, you know, kind of travel across. 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4. So if we wanted to just look at it as contained to the E box, all right, so remembering that the E box is here, okay, so we have 7 to 2 right there, usually, kind of a crummy square there. So instead of going to this 2, we will go 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, okay, and then from 4 we would go back to 7. We have a little problem with diminished, fitting it into the normal cages. So that gives us some chord shape to play. Okay, so with the diminished chord, we got a 4, 7, and a 2 there. You know, that makes the chords for us to play. So it's important to just look at something often as contained within a certain playing area. So, you know, like with the piano, if I wanted to play like a modal scale, I could go like, kind of did the whole thing in one little area instead of going up completely. But you can do that. You can do that. You gotta change for the tuning warp, and we only have 6 strings, but you can start on 7 and go 7, 2, 4, 7. Now the 2 is closer. 7, 2, 4, 7. Kind of like a big arrowhead. So there are limitations, and there's, you know, the tuning warp changes thing, but the biggest limitation to just going on an arpeggio with that half diminish is the 6 strings themselves. Okay, so with the 10 strings here, you know, you can see there'd be a little more freedom with the 7, 2, and then the 4 would be where? Up here, 4. And the 7 would be all the way over here. Actually, it gets kind of messy. It's easier to do it down here, that half diminished. If we substitute the 7, if we substitute the Dorian here, we've got the 4 and we've got the 2 of it already. So it'd be like 4, 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, that kind of thing. So this is what this does for us. These pattern sets. It shows us the arpeggio. So with the exception of the Locrian, which is difficult, but you know, it's valuable. But we're mostly looking at the 3 minors here: the Ionian minor, which is a minor 6 here, the Dorian, and the Phrygian. Okay, so the Ionian minor would be relative to the major key, which would be Ionian. The the Aeolian, not Ionian, the Aeolian minor